Hi everybody, before we get started I had a couple house cleaning things I wanted to do. So I'm going to try a new format so that people can watch the videos. Apparently 50 minutes is way too long. I'm also willing to take ideas for subjects if you guys want to do them. And if you want me to do a full analysis on a game, I'm willing to hear those too. The only stipulations are it needs to be on a PC and I need to own the game. Yeah, imagine that. One more thing, I'm not dictating to you. I am exploring my analysis of the game. So if you have something you want to say or disagree with me, I would prefer you go into the comments and explore it with me. Obviously, I'm not the authority on video games, and this analysis stuff is kind of new. I realized when doing this that I missed out on doing the AI in Mark of the Ninja. So before you go put a thumbs down, let's talk about it. Maybe you have a good point. Maybe it's something I missed. I'm willing to explore it. Alright, let's get into it. The Thief series is a game franchise that started in 1998 with Thief, The Dark Project. A game that, amongst many things, showed it was possible to create a first-person stealth action game. In 2014, Eidos Montreal teamed up with publisher Square Enix to release the newest installment from a decade-long break to release its newest title, simply called Thief. The title was released on many platforms, with the Xbox 360 and PS3 being the lowest common denominator for those platforms, and that will come into effect later in the analysis. I'm doing this a full year after the release of the game on the PC, so it is expected that all the bugs will be patched out. Theme, player! This game is a single-player, first-person, early industrial, pseudo-fantasy stealth action game, and that, like Ron Jeremy, is more than a mouthful. Ew. It's apparent from the world that the residents have learned to make bricks, but they haven't figured out how to mass-produce guns yet. As the player inhabits a cut purse of the highest caliber, you add a touch of magic, and you're swimming in a world of possibilities. Would you like some options? To begin, the game immediately loads up, and you're presented with an enter your email address to create a Square Enix account. And that sounds just as bad as fun as I just said it. And we're off to a bad start. There is no explanation for this. No, I mean literally, there's no explanation. Look at it. They could be taking this information and just selling it to the NSA or whatever. China, I have no idea. Oh, you can put a fake email in there, but you're just going to get that prompt again every single time you load up the game. While this may not bother some players, it will most definitely bother others. For those players, they're beginning each play experience with a bad taste in their mouth, which will definitely shade their opinion of the game. Once past the email prompt, the player is shown the start menu. There's the standard new game, load, challenge, option, and quit selections. The menu also includes some additional features like the continue, leaderboards, another method to link the account to Square Enix, a ticker at the top which is becoming an industry standard, and a very welcome benchmarking feature. You see this, industry? You see this benchmarking feature? This should be a standard. This should be a standard. Good job, Eidos. There are a disgusting amount of options. And just like a Vegas buffet, it can be both a good and a bad thing. Admittedly, creating a new game for an old franchise is a difficult process because you have to balance between the old audience and now the new audience. But we'll save that for another video. The reason I mention this is because the myriad of options is an attempt to appease both audiences. For returning players, this is the Burger King of games. You can have it your way. The amount of options can allow a user to craft their own experiences. None of the options deal with the internal, external, and even some of the in-world UI elements. If you have no idea what I just said, I want you to stop the video and go watch the Mark of the Ninja explanation of UI. We will cover the UI stuff in the UI part of the analysis, so let's get back to the options. For new players, much like virgins in a brothel, they'll have no idea what they're doing in the options menu, and they're most likely to go play the game with the missionary default settings. But let's be fair to noobs. Even a returning player, much like whether John's asking what a Blumpkin is, aren't really going to know what convolutional reverb or how frame search helper is likely to help them before they start playing the game. The primary issue here is that there's no detailed descriptions of what the options do. A very easy solution to this is to add some text along with a picture to show the player exactly what each option did. Option summary. Starting the player off with an unskippable email prompt is not the way to start any game, especially if you have an option in the start screen that handles this. The addition of the benchmarking feature in the start menu is one of the most welcome design choices, as it allows the player to test the software before they even start playing it and adjust it to their needs. This should be an industry standard for all PC games. The game has a vast amount of options, which is an amazing addition for any game, as it allows the player to craft a game experience they would like to have. But it could have been helped by some simple images and text to explain what each of the options did. Alrighty, that's the first part of the analysis for Thief done. I'll be adding the next part as I get it done. Remember to add your suggestions below, like the video, and sub if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys next time.